Well, hello and welcome to Jazz After Dark. How you doing out there? Hope you're having a good evening. I am not going to actually tell you what this is in here tonight. It is a Kentucky bourbon, I'll tell you that much. But if someone guesses, then I will be honest about it. In truth, I was looking for something, and we just had a gathering for 4th of July, and everything's all scattered. And I was asking my wife, she's like, just take that. I'm like, I don't know. It's not bad, but I'll just tell you, it's my wife's Kentucky bourbon that she uses. She likes to mix up fruity drinks and sort of seasonal summer drinks and stuff that have bourbon in it. So she doesn't drink it a lot, but it's a mixing bourbon. So I won't say anything, but what I will say, and thank you for joining me. If somebody guesses, like I said, I'll fess up to you, but no, it's not shockingly good. Interestingly, there's a term, I was going to bring it up to Eric. It's called being bougie broke. Kids are using it. I keep up with the kids. And so it's called being bougie broke, which means you're living a comfortable or what you want as your lifestyle with just enough money to pay your bills. So you look like you're balling, and you're out having fancy dinners and stuff. But in reality, it's like that close to something going wrong. I don't know what to think about that, but let's just say I'll be bougie broke with this drink here tonight, and we'll just put this behind us. Anyways, a lot of you have kids, grandchildren, right? I kind of want to try to show something. I'm going to take a shot at this, but I want to show how really wealthy people, granted they have access to more money, but they take a different approach. And it's not just because of having the ability to fill up a 529 like crazy or have multiples, ones. They take a different approach because somebody's actually going through the numbers. So whereas, maybe us normal people will say, well, I'm going to get myself a 529 for kid number 1. I'm going to get myself a 529 for kid number 2. And if they both go to college, I hope to be able to pay for college or whatever it is that you believe about. Let's take a different look at this here and be a little more detailed. So to do this, what I'm going to do is say, here's a very fortunate family, but they are not wealthy in the world of like wealth managers that like manage like Derek Jeter's money, big time guys out there. So we're going to try to break it down to us normies out there, but apply the same type of technique. Okay. Better or worse? Okay. So I'm going to dive in here. Let me give you a quick little overview of who this is. So these people in this example, Louis and Lucille Armstrong, 43, she's 41. They've got a kid, their first baby, baby Jazz, 6. And then the Jazzy Jazz is 3. So they got a 6 and a 3-year-old. Okay. They have a goal of wanting to pay for their college in some way or another. So maybe there's a scholarship, maybe there's not. So let's just pretend this is you. Where's their income for the moment? 140. So she doesn't work, 140. So I brought it, like, I'm not trying to say you make millions of dollars a year, right? So typical average people at this point in their 40s, they're doing a fair amount of saving, right? So all that's covered there. We've got income covered. They've got their retirement and relocating when they retire. All the other stuff is there that we normally cover. Today, we're going to go to the education tab, which is something a little bit new for a lot of you. And a brief overview is these tabs here. This is Baby Jazz. This is Jazzy Jazz. So this is the 6-year-old. This is the 3-year-old. This would be a breakdown of both of them. All right. And so I've got a little bit of a head start, so I don't have to bore you guys with the basics here. But what we're showing is, all right, when they go to school in 2035, we're going to need tomorrow's dollars of $50,000, right? And 52 and a little inflation built in, right? So for 2035 to 38, we have no available money. We are short by the entire amount. Jazzy Jazz is the same exact thing, just a little bit more because that's a little younger, so the ages go further. There's an overlapping year in there, of course, because of their age, and that's where we stand. So now let's pretend you go, well, no, I want to pay for the college in some way. We already have the cost baked in here, and this is adjusted to today's dollars, right? Let's say that they get $2,000, right? No, come on, let's do something good here. $3,500. Most states give you $3,500 as part of the collections from the lotteries, and so at least Florida does. So we're pretending that we don't want them to borrow any money. Please, no. We want to be able to pay for this as close as possible. So what do we need to do? We maybe have $1,000. Us normies out there, we got some money. We don't have a lot of money, but we'll say $1,000 to get started, and I'll try to put $2,000 a year. Okay? And what I want to model is if I keep them invested correctly and I only want to fund their college from the 529, what will that do for baby Jazz here, the first child to go to school? So we say, okay, well, not bad. We can almost pay for year number one. We can pay for year number one for the most part and a little bit of spillover for the next year. And truthfully, what this is showing is we've run out of money, but we started right here with the annual savings. That'll start at the beginning of the year. That's why there's a little bit there, but it seems like we didn't meet our goal. That's all that is. So we say, okay, that's not really what we had in mind. That's not ideal. If you go over to the details, 2035 is when the first child starts, and we're showing what the inflated dollars of scholarships or grants will be, how much we're going to need, and where the money's going to come from. So we basically blow it out, then we put another 2,000, have a little bit of earnings in there, and we blow that out too. All right. So let's try something. If I look at these people's cash flows here, I'm going to go a little bit outside the box, and I'm going to say, what does life look like in 2035? And we've got a goal in here. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. I'll do the spreadsheet version. And what I want to do now is I want to kind of say, okay, so we chose as parents to have an account that the money goes in. And at some point, somebody convinced us, or we decided, to take some amount of money and put it into this account. That may not have been all the money we had, but we thought for the time that would just be some amount to save, right? But we don't have to use only that account for college. What if we had extra money that we weren't going to use for, that we could use for college, even though it's not in the 529? You know what I'm saying? We get our heads wrapped around this so often that account is for retirement. That account is for the pool in 2 years. That account is for college. That account is for vacation, a destination wedding, whatever it is. I've heard it all, believe it or not, down to the illicit stuff. And so it doesn't have to be that way. Remember, I've done videos in the past where I say you got 529, but why not use your spouse's Roth IRA for college if you're not going to use it anyways, right? It's tax-free. You're allowed to do that, and it's a win-win. So let's try that scenario here. What was the year? 2035 was the year one. Okay. So as you can see, beforehand, we have, this family makes 140, right? This year, they'll have some expenses, taxes. They're doing their savings. So they got 111 going out. They've got money left over. And for the moment, I'm saying those are incidentals. And that, I'm not trying to sound funny there. Like, that's I needed new tires and now tires are $1,200 or whatever, the things that add up throughout the year. But we're not living paycheck to paycheck. That's interesting. I'm not going to suck things out of this. That's not fair. I'm just going to say, okay, let's pretend that they put that money away to garbage, right? Dining out and all that stuff. Well, in 2035, we got 199 as income, normal raises there. Wait, let's make sure. That's just Louis' salary, right? So he put in the raises that he's going to get every year. Okay, and inflation. So we've got that. We're spending 93. We've got a goal of 50,000. Remember on the education chart, we were just a little short of funding college in total. We've got our taxes, which we could play with that too. And we're unable to do our entire planned savings. Why did our savings go down? We are unable now because we have these goals, right? The next year, we've got a little bit more money. We've got some expenses. Oh, geez, there's that thing again, right? We pay our taxes. We're not able to save the full amount. Remember up here, we're saving a lot. So what we're already modeling by default is that there is money going elsewhere than savings. Does it matter that money is not going to savings there? Essentially, what we're saying is kids go to college and, let's use the other money that we have for that. Some savings, but not a lot, right? Let's pay the rest for college. Does that do anything? So to model that, now that we know, and I've sort of given an overview, Now I want to say, let's fund college for baby Jazz with anything that I can. Well, let's start here with 529 and taxable money, meaning brokerage accounts, savings accounts, just excess liquidity that's sitting around that we know we have, right? Not that we just blew away. Now we've got 100% of that. Interesting. Now remember, I'm not saying they're going to spend every penny and not allow for alternator failures, right? All that fancy stuff. Because look what we're doing. I hope we're doing that, or I'm going to look really silly. Yeah, we're spending out extra dollars. So we're telling the system, hey, yes, they're not living paycheck to paycheck. They do their savings. They're spending 111. They've got 24.6 left over. Make it disappear. Don't save it. Or as I could change the settings, but see how it says spend unsaved cash flows. Just make it disappear. It is incidental money. So now, if we say use the 529 and taxable, this actually can help. But does it throw off our retirement? Because remember, we're not saving as much there. So let's go over here and propose the education strategy. So we're going to say, let's propose that we do it that way, not only using the 529, but using the taxable account as well. And there you go. Oh, nope, sorry. I'll put this back here. Proposed plan. So if we change that, we hopefully will not be hurting ourselves. Why is the number the same? Something's different in here. Give me just a second. Student loans. What happened there? Oh, I changed it. Okay, so we're on proposed plan, current plan, student loan. What happened? It went away. Okay, let's go back over here and see if that changed. Because what I don't want to show, I don't want to show the other child just yet. 35. Okay, so it's doing it still. So we're not taking out the money. Perfect. So then if I go to the education tab, we should be 100% covered. Okay, so what I was trying not to show is that, we're just going to keep saving for retirement and change those numbers, somehow hurting you. It's actually not doing that. We are saving less for retirement, and that's why you see the goal is the same, because we were looking at this plan before and pointing out, we're not saving as much. The system was already doing it. I just did it again, I guess. So now we're saving less for retirement. Does that matter? No, they've got if we look at their ending balance of their retirement accounts, okay, they're growing because they're not spending enough. We need to pick on them for that. But as we look through life, look, we can handle this. Look at the withdrawals coming out of their taxable account here. 27, 48, boom, money coming out. We're not growing as much. We're not saving as much. Oh no, we can't get it done. We're going to deplete that all, both in the front of their retirement as well as, of course, education up here. So we're using that money. They'll eventually be able to save up more when, I guarantee you, that's the RMDs. So let's go back to the summary. 70, there it is right there. So when they get to their RMD age, which is 75 for them, they got to take out all this money from their IRA. They don't need it. They're not spending it, right? Total outflows, 284, because we're saving the money. Their expenses are only 257. It sounds like a big number, but it's 2,055, right? So thinking of funding college by maybe not saving as much later at some other point, not right now, and saying, I'm just going to scrimp and do everything I can to put money in a 529. No, the money's accounted for. It's just accounted for down the road. So now this kid, and to be fair, we had a little bit of a scholarship in there, right? $3,500. So it's really peanuts with this kind of scenario, but we could do it again and find out they're still good, right? So they don't even need to worry about the scholarship. They could say, Dustin, it's in my heart. I just want to spend everything on them. I want them to go to college. It's fine, but you're not going to get there by saving money into a 529 super aggressively right now. You see what I'm pointing at? Whereas my industry, last thing I'm going to say, my industry would tell you, you're behind. You better sock away that dough. You're behind. I need you to put more money in there. Of course, that's the right answer. It's how we make money. Full transparency. It's right on our homepage, on our website. So that's the lazy answer. But the real answer is, let's just think about it like we're already filthy rich, like they do, and go, Can we account for this money some now and some of it in the future without hurting anything else? Yeah, turns out it's possible for Louis and Lucille Armstrong here. So rather cool, right? By the way, someone's going to ask this. If you're still around here, someone's going to ask, well, okay, that's one kid. We didn't even go into the other kid. Let's just for fun see if it's possible. So we're starting over again. We're going to assume now we've proposed this scenario for this child and it's acceptable. It will work. Now let's go to the second kid who has nothing going for them just yet. And let's say, look, all I have is $1,000 to start this thing off. And I'll do $2,000 a year for them. We know they can do it, right? That means that they will have $20,000 extra each year instead of 24, sorry, because this kid and the other kid. And we say, well, can I do it with the 529 that I have separately just for them? So it'll be about the same thing. It should be a little bit ahead, actually. Oh, dollar-wise it is. So it's a little bit ahead because this child's a little bit younger. So we're filling this up a little bit more, but again, college costs a little more. So we say, well, do we have any money over here for taxable accounts? Can we do this for them? Yep, we can do it for them as well. All right. So we can account for it here for this child. This child costs a little bit more, and we can break down even where that starts to come out. And sorry if it's cut off. So long way of saying I'm drinking cheap bourbon tonight, and now you're going to guess it. And sometimes we just have to look at the dollars like this. You know what I mean? Look over here. We've got a goal. We can do this. Don't push it too hard. Don't save so much now that you're not enjoying your life, your vacations, the trips to Disney, whatever you do with your kids. Go do that, knowing that we can still pay for college if you want. Could also be some percentage of that. You could pay for half or make them get scholarships or make them get a loan for some amount. That part is personal, and I'll just work through whatever your personal beliefs are. But really cool, right? Just to think of it a different way. That's all. A little bit of a long one here today, right? 17 minutes or so. All right. I am going to go get ready for tomorrow and continue with my efforts here. I hope you'll check us out at jazzwealth.com. Appreciate you guys watching, and glad to be back. You check out our live show again. The Closing Beat is live now, and so far so good. So we'll see you then. Adios.